Internet of Things, 3D printing, robotics, virtual reality, next-gen security, cognitive interfaces. Those are all things that are accelerating this third platform. The basic thing that I want to get you across here, third platform has changed all the rules.
Hi, I'm Steve Proctor, Vice President of Marketing and Communication with IT World Canada. I'm here with Bill Keyworth of IDC. He gave a presentation at the CIO Summit today, which was very interesting, got a lot of entertainment. Bill, thank you for being with us. I appreciate it.
It was my pleasure.
Your presentation talked about leadership in 3D. Can you just tell me a little bit about what managing in 3D or leadership in 3D is all about?
There's a lot of push right now to go bimodal or two-speed IT. Basically, with the emphasis on innovation and the emphasis on dealing with the at-scale operations, everything that needs to be reliable, available, that's bimodal. That's what certain companies, analysts, consulting houses are pushing. And what we're saying, there's a third dimension in there. Right. Yes, you need innovation. Yes, you have your at-scale operations, which is the thing that the company's running on. But in the middle, there's a third dimension dealing with integration. And digital transformation, to be scalable and sustainable, requires continuous integration into the enterprise infrastructure in the form of business services. That's the role of integration. That's the part that's not getting paid attention to. Innovations don't count unless they're available to the business in a secure environment. And to do that, you need integration. When you get into the integration of services, you have to know what you're talking about. People don't want components. They don't want to buy infrastructure. They don't want to buy 99% availability. What they want is a service.
So there's 3 I's.
3 I's. Innovation, which we need. Integration, which takes those and put those in the infrastructure. And incorporation, which means it's part of the fabric of the enterprise.
Okay, so one of the items that within that the audience seemed quite interested in was KPIs.
Yes.
So how does that work? How do you actually use those KPIs to ensure that all happens?
So that's what the business wants to do with digital transformation. The interesting thing about these dimensions, you can excel in omni experience, but if you haven't got the other 4 moving along in sync, you're dead. You know, you've got to get all 5 of these moving together in a similar way. Digital capabilities. IDC calls something called third platform. First platform was mainframe computing. Second platform was distributed computing, LAN networks, PCs, office applications, the internet. That was all part of the second platform. The third platform is the thing that's making all the changes. Everything we've known about IT is changing because of the third platform. And the third platform being cloud services, mobility services, big data analytics, and social business. The aspect of KPIs is essentially that what matters is what's important to the line of business that's funding the technology investment. What are they basing their careers on, their reputations, their salaries, and its business outcomes. So when you do KPIs that are meaningful back to your target audience, it has to be about business outcomes. It has to be about what the business cares about. So what's the single most important role IT could play in your organization's digital transformation? Number 1, this was again a survey that was based upon nearly 900 respondents. At the top of the list, this is what people were saying, I want from the IT organization. This is the most important role IT could play. Top of the list is innovation. Help us identify which parts of the business could be digitally transformed through the use of technology. They want IT to play that role. 1/3 of the respondents. Second, technology. Help me identify technologies that can accelerate our digital transformation. You know about the technologies. They want to have that in a business context.
IDC does a lot of studies and correlates a lot of information. How is it that what is the level of understanding within business that you have to understand what the outcome is before you get to the digital transformation? That is one of the sort of the foundational pieces.
You'd assume that people would recognize that,
yes,
especially on the line of business. But I think Peter made an interesting comment in his panel discussion. He said when we forget the why, or why we're doing something, then the what doesn't follow. The why is the business outcome. What is driving the whole effort that you're putting forth with this digital transformation? And without that understanding of the why, without that understanding of the business requirement or what's motivating you to transform digitally, if you lose sight of that, everything starts to fall apart. You have to step back and say, this is what the business is concerned about. This is their metric. What is your contribution to that metric?
You offered a couple of ideas or tips that people could actually take with them as they went. They'll go into the office Tuesday morning, they can actually start to implement that. What are the real actionable items from your presentation that they can actually go and take into the office and start working on?
Well, the primary one for me in the presentation was that they need to recognize that a bimodal organization, a two-speed organization is going to bring failures, disappointments, frustrations. That they need this role of integration. So when they go back to the office, I'd hope they step back and look at what am I doing with my innovative projects in order to bring them into the fabric of the enterprise so that the business would use them. We have way too many innovation projects that aren't going to be integrated, and consequently, it's wasted money. And the other one had to do, there was a lot of reaction to technical debt. The fast IT, which is equated with innovation, generates technical debt. In other words, there's things you have to fix in the security and the reliability, into the performance of the application. The longer you wait to fix those and bring it into the fabric of the enterprise, the higher it's going to cost you to do those. And if you fail to pay the technical debt, your digital transformation is bankrupt.
All right, thank
it.
you very much. That's the quick look at Bill's presentation. Thank you very much.
Am I talking fast? I am so excited about getting this message across that I can't slow down.